Good morning, children. Let us check that today how the outbreak of the French Revolution took place. We have already studied about how the society was divided into three estates in France. So here, what was the reason or what was the important factors promoted for the revolution in France? So Louis XVI was the ruler of or monarch of France. We studied. Now Louis XVI, he had to increase the taxes. He was planning to increase the taxes for many reasons. And what was the reason he wanted to increase the taxes from the people? So here, how do you think that he could have gone for increasing the taxes? Was he alone able to take a decision to increase the taxes? So in France, the old regime, previously the monarch did not have the power to impose taxes according to his own will alone. We know that their monarch or the ruler alone cannot take a decision if he is planning to increase the taxes. For that purpose, he had to call for a meeting of the Estates General. Estates General was to be called for a meeting of the Estates General. Then they will pass Estate General will pass the bill and these proposals for new taxes. What is the Estates General? Here, as we know, in our country we have Parliament, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, two houses are there. In any of the houses, any bill has to be introduced, and the bill has to be introduced. Then discussions and debates taking place. After that, bill will be, if majority accepts, the bill will be passed. So in France also the same way, there is one Estates General like our Lok Sabha, and they also, the monarch or the king has to call for a meeting of the Estates General. There this bill or the proposal for new taxes will be introduced. Then the Estate General is such a kind of political body which the three estates send their representatives. Like we are sending our MPs to the Parliament, this Estate General also were the members of representatives. So from all three estates, first, second, third estates, they all send their representatives to the Estates General. So here Estates General will discuss and fix the bill will be passed there. So here this monarch alone could not decide when he could alone decide when the meeting should be called. Only the ruler can decide when meeting can be called, invitation to the meeting, and the meeting will discuss the bill, and if they are interested they will pass it. But the last time the Estate General meeting was called, or it was gathering was done in 1614, in the year 1614. So here now on Fifth May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the Estates General to pass the proposal for new taxes. The three estates representatives are coming together here on 5th May 1789. This was the date Louis XVI called for the meeting of Estates General together. So here it was conducted. We know that this meeting was also conducted in a resplendent hall, which means a very colorful or shining, very beautiful hall in Versailles. In Versailles, this meeting was done so that all the delegates, all representatives from three estates gathered together. So the first and second estates send 300 representatives each. First estate, second estate 300, there are 600 members from each first and second estate together. Now we know that they were all seated in the first rows. We know that these people were all first and second estates people, representative 300 members were sitting and facing to each other on two sides, like that. From both sides they were facing towards to each other, they were sitting. Now what about the third estate? We know that there were 600 members of the third estate. Third estate alone had 600 members. They were standing at the back. Because they belong to the third estate, they had to stand at the back of the hall. At the back of the hall, we know that here also there is domination for the first and second estates. They were sitting in a row and facing each other. But the third estate, more than these people, these both together, first and second estates together, there were 600 members. But at the same time, third estate had 600 members. They were standing at the back. So the third estate was represented by more its prosperous and educated members, peasants, artisans and women all were denied to entry here also. We know that third estate, the common men, they were all well educated people, and also there were very prosperous people from prosperous traders also were there. These people were got the permission to enter the general estates general. But at the same time, peasants, the farmers or artisans and women, they did not have any right to enter the assembly. So but their problems, their grievances, their troubles and their demands all were listed in some of the 40,000 letters which the representatives had brought with them. But the women, peasants and artisans had no entry in the general estates general. But these representatives who were from the third estate, who were the lawyers or professionals or the prosperous people, those who came for the general estates general, they brought all their problems and grievances written on letters, about 40,000 letters they brought for discussing in the estates general. So voting in the estates general in the past had been conducted according to the principle that each estate had one vote. Now you know that there were 600 members in the third estate, 300 in the first estate and second estate 300 members. But each estate had one vote only. Even though there are 600 members, they are all together for one voting only. So how many voting will be there? 1, 2, 3 voting will be done. Okay, so that if majority, if the two groups or two houses are supporting that proposal will be passed. So generally we know that the first and second estates are always supporting the monarch. So that if these two are supporting monarch, the bill will be passed, even though the 600 members of the third estate has one vote. If they deny, also the bill will be passed. So here Louis XVI this time also determined to continue the same practice. Every house, 3 estates will have, each one will have one vote only. Each estate will have one vote system only. But the members of the third estate demanded the voting now to be conducted an assembly as a whole, where each member will get one vote. That means third estate has 600 members, 600 votes will be done, and first and second estates also 300 votes will be done. That means if all the first and second estates completely 600 members are voting for supporting the monarch, if 600 members in the third estate are denying the proposal, that will be equal, so that a bill cannot be passed. So the third estate demanded that every member of the house should get the right to vote. So that will have, this was one of the democratic principles. We know that here, if how many members are there in the parliament, everyone will have one vote. Okay, each member has one vote, not like the whole Lok Sabha or whole Rajya Sabha one vote. Every member of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is getting one vote. Same way, they are also third estate demanded for each person, each member should get one vote. That is a democratic policies or democratic the principles which was put forward by the philosophers like Rousseau in his book The Social Contract. Rousseau was a philosopher who wrote, he mentioned this in his book The Social Contract, these democratic principles. When the king rejected this proposal, members of the Third Estate walked away and walked out from the assembly in protest. So the bill will not be passed there because the 600 members of the Third Estate went away, and when the king rejected this proposal, every member should get a one vote. So the representatives of the Third Estate viewed themselves as spokesperson for the whole French nation. The people in all the members, representatives of the Third Estate, they felt that they are talking, they are speaking for the whole French nation, not for some particular group of people or the privileged ones. On 20th June, they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court on the grounds of Versailles. They declared themselves as National Assembly and swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. So that 20th June, all these members of the Third Estate gathered together in a tennis court grounds of indoor tennis court ground of Versailles. So they decided there they are drafting a constitution for the France, and it will be followed in France. Here in the constitution it limits the power of the monarch. Now monarch is taking independent power, the ruler or the king is taking independent power, so that will be abolished as per the constitution of National Assembly. They declared themselves as the members of the National Assembly. Here we know that they prepared the constitution, they started drafting the constitution until it completed, they will not be dispersed. They had taken the decision. Now here they were led by, and these people are the members of the Third Estate, they themselves considered called as National Assembly. They were led by, and they had some leaders these people were led by the two important personalities here, Mirabeau and Abicius, and these were important personalities, Mirabeau and Abicius, and they were the leaders. So Mirabeau was born in a noble family, but he was convinced of the need to do away with the society like feudal privileges. Mirabeau, we know that he was born in a noble family, rich family. He was not necessary to go for the talking for the common people, but he was given all the privileges by birth, but also he left all the privileges and came for the poor people and the common men. So he also decided to work for the poor people and the common people in the country. So he brought out a journal that delivered to powerful speeches to the crowds and assembled in the Versailles. Mirabeau, he made speeches and publicly he talked with the common men about the rights of the people. And Abicius, we know that originally he was a priest, and he wrote an influential pamphlet which was called What is the Third Estate? And Abicius, he was a priest. He also was such a philosopher, and he also made a speech and also wrote in pamphlets or leaflets what is the Third Estate, how the Third Estate should function. And while the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting the constitution, we know that the National Assembly was the members of the Third Estate. They were busy with drafting the constitution. They were preparing the constitution for France. The rest of France, the other areas, other people in France, we know that it was seethed with turmoil. That means completely the France was burning or boiling. People were very angry. They were agitating all over France against the monarch. Also, they wanted complete disorder was going on, complete troubles was going on all over France during this time. But National Assembly was very busy with the preparation or drafting the constitution. So this period, we know that a severe winter, when if climatic change, if winter is very severe, we know in France hailstones occurring, which the harvest will be very bad. That means the crops will be damaged due to the heavy winter snowfall or hailstones, etc. During that period, in such a situation occurs, the price of bread increases. Now this year also it was winter, severe winter was there, the crops were damaged, price of the bread rose again. So often bakers exploited such a situation, hoarding the supplies. What happens in bakeries, bakers all kept a waste, they were storing, hiding the food grains without supplying to the, without selling in the market, so that when prices increases they will pick up and sell it out in the market. So after spending hours in the long queues at the bakery, we know that people had to stand in a long queue for buying the bread also. The crowds of angry women who were standing in the crowds, they were very angry and they stormed into the shops. They attacked the shops and shopkeepers also. And we know at the same time the king ordered the troops to move into Paris. When people became violent, they were attacking the bakers and bakeries, or taking out the hoarded food grains, food supplies. The king ordered the troops, army to enter into the city. So what happened here? At the same time, the king ordered the army to enter into Paris or city. On 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille, Bastille prison and all. The 14th July, people who were gathered in a large crowd, they destroyed the Bastille. So in the countryside, that means in the rural areas also, rumors spread from village to village that the lords of the manor had hired bands of brigands who were on their way to destroy the ripe crops. So in villages, in the villages also same situation was going on. So, but the rumor spread, this news spread that the rebels of the rebels are hired by the king. So here, lords of the manor. What is lords of the manor? An estate consisting the landlords who has very large areas of lands and they are building inside the mansion or palace or building inside. So such kind of manor, lords of the manor was there. So they had hired the bands of brigands who were on the way to destroy the ripe crops. So the farmers or the peasants in the village side heard that news, or this rumor came out that the lords of the manor, they are hiring the rebels or the people who are coming to destroy the ripened crops. The crops are ready to harvest, this will be destroyed. The farmers or peasants in the rural areas heard this news. So they all were very frightened. If the peasants were frightened that the lords of the manor and they are coming to destroy, the people are coming to, rebels are coming to destroy the crops, they gathered together, and how in several districts these peasants with their implements, agricultural implements like a horse or pitchforks, they all these instruments, these weapons used for agriculture purpose. The peasants collected all these implements and went to the chateau, and chateau is the castle where the rich people or the landlords or noblemen live. So they went to the farmers, went to the chateaus and attacked the chateau. That means in these chateaus, we know that the landlords always store the food grain. That is hoarding, illegally hoarding the food grains everywhere. And so the farmers who entered and attacked the chateaus, they looted the hoarded grain and burnt down the documents containing the record of manorial dues. That means the peasants had made some agreements or documents with these landlords. So peasants destroyed all these documents, whatever the contract they made, peasants had made with the lords or landlords landlords all were burnt, so that they were free from this agreement or the conditions, so that the large number of nobles fled away from there, because they were afraid that they will die or they will be killed. So many of them migrated to neighboring countries also. From even France they went away, they ran away to other countries, so that faced with the power of the revolting subjects, like we know that people became more powerful and they were revolting against the king and the landlords. Louis XVI felt that accorded that recognition of the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his power would be now from the be checked by the constitution. So now Louis XVI had no other way. He understood, he recognized that the power of the people or the National Assembly. So he accepted them as the National Assembly, and also he was aware that his power is reduced by the principle of the constitution. So on the night of 4th August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree abolishing the feudal system of obligations and taxes. So National Assembly declared that on 4th August 1789, the abolition of the feudal system. There is no feudalism in France. That means no differences between the three classes, no first, second, third estates, all are equal. So no more further taxes also implemented. It was also cancelled. So members of the clergy, that means who are in the first class or the first estate, they were also forced to give up all the privileges. They had no privileges hereafter. They were also given equal status of the first, second, third estate. All people are considered equal. So that these people also have to pay taxes to the government. Tithes, where we know that was a tax on they also abolished this tax, or the tithes also were abolished. So the lands which was owned by the churches were confiscated. That means they also were captured by the, or which was possessed by the church lands also were had to be paying taxes, and they also were captured by the people. Now we know that as a result the government acquired assets. The people, the church lands also were captured by the government, these people, and handed over to the government. So that the government had now acquired an asset worth of 2 billion livres. During that period when all these were handed over to the government has got a large asset that is almost equal to the 2 billion livres, very huge amount. Instead of passing taxes or passing the bill of taxes or collecting more taxes, this was more than sufficient for the government to run easily the government. So that is about how the outbreak of French Revolution started, and in the next class we will study how France becomes a constitutional monarchy. Monarchy is still existing, but monarchy is based on the constitution. Monarch has to follow the principles of constitutions. That's why France is now known as a constitutional monarchy. Now how it becomes a constitutional monarchy we are going to learn in the next class.